Q&A, and I'm counting it down. Lock in with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We are live right now. The questions, the answers, the energy, it's all happening. Drop your questions in the chat. Turn that volume up, and let's make this some. Let's make some noise. Okay, how are you? Happy Tuesday, right?
You're wired.
Yeah, a little wired. So I've been moving my shit all day. So we have a storage room in one town, and we're moving everything to another because we have all this furniture that we're donating to like this thing, St. Mary's something in April. So we had to put it somewhere, and we have probably $15,000 worth of furniture. So I'm moving it. So all day I've been my son-in-law, my wife, the last 2 days I've been moving it. So it's all fun. So I'm going to, and then I'm driving to Pennsylvania tomorrow morning. So we shall see. Okay. I have to get up at like 5 a.m. But it is what it is. Okay. Welcome on. Happy Tuesday. And we are up and running, right? Okay, we are. Okay, good.
Yeah, we are.
Let's see if I can see the chat this time. That's good stuff. Couple of things. Let's get started with the good stuff first. Here I am. This is good stuff. It's Jeff and I, and we are going to here to help you answer questions on any FINRA exam. So FINRA. So we're talking Series 6, Series 7, SIE exam. Every time I say series, my phone goes off. 24, 57, 99, HUT. Okay, all that stuff. Okay, no, NASA is Thursday, baby, and I have a dinner right before it, so we'll see how that works. Okay. So a couple of things. If you need another vendor, I would say go check out Achievable. If you're not using them already, they're outstanding. Nobody teaches this stuff better than them. I have links in most of my videos. It's in the description, and we shall go from there. If you need other YouTube help from other YouTube stuff, I would say go check out Brandon Rith over on Basic Wisdom. He's good. He doesn't put out a lot of videos, but he has good ones out. They're quality videos, and they're going to help. Okay. Yeah, but Thirsty Trout, I can answer that question. That's a very vague, like open-ended question that will help people. It's like, I'm not going to talk about jurisdiction and shit like that tonight, unless nobody comes on. And it looks like if we have a bad night, we'll just have a bad night. Okay. Now, Angie, baby. So if you guys have questions, throw them in there now. Okay. So, Angie, I need to upgrade to premium. Yeah, you know what? Just text me tomorrow and we'll get in there. Okay. We'll figure it out. Wait, so I thought so somebody else did the same. I thought you were the one who said you canceled and then you put it back in. And then I thought it worked. If not, just reach out to me tomorrow and I'll figure out a way to get you into the 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Again, I think I'm staying at the hotel tomorrow. I have to figure that shit out. Down in wherever the hell I am in Pennsylvania. I don't even know where it is. Radnor I don't know if it's Radnor or King of Prussia. I have no idea. All I know is it's a 2-hour drive. Okay. D-Man. I guess I don't have any 7 questions, so I guess we're going to talk to the 66 tonight anyway. So if you guys have 7 questions, I will stop in the middle of telling him. Okay. Oh, you thought it worked. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess we can get into it. So if you want to one quick thing to build up the questions. Okay. We have, if you want, we have memberships that either tomorrow night, if you do the premier level membership, we meet on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for regular stuff, options at 7. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's options and everything. It's usually a pretty small group. Cocoa Puffs. How are you? Okay, there we go. That's interesting. Okay, so now, okay. So I'll talk about the ADV real quick, and then we'll get into it. Also, don't forget, Michael Weiss is a good tutor. He's over at Serious70examtutor.com. And I have myself, and we have 3 other tutors that'll help you with the 79, the 66, the SIE, the 7, all those exams. I have 2 or 3 other tutors that help you with that. And that's Series7exam.org or Series66exam.com. I still don't know how I got that. Hold on. Let's get mail in here first. Okay, let me do this. Okay. Boom, Hayden Shin. That's a hide and shin, baby. Hide and shame, hide and shin. That's awesome. That is outstanding. I love it. That's awesome.
I passed the Series 7.
I'm not going to do that one. We'll do that. I know. But that's tonight.
Viele Hände hat der Ort zu Fuß, 100.000 Hände.
Boom, baby. Hayden, any surprises? That's what I asked everyone. Any surprises on that one? Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, hold it. Let's go. Mail. Okay. Hayden, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Mail. That is outstanding. Yeah, hedging's a lot on this thing. Okay. Hayden, hey, we'll get back to you. Mail, absolutely. Hedging is definitely on there. It's you feel that remember, that's part of suitability. That really is. Well, then you get this one.
I passed the Series 7! That's what I'm talking about. Bring on the fireworks! Woo! This is how you celebrate. Confetti everywhere. Thank you, everybody. Cost
plus.
I passed the Series.
So did you, other than hedging, were there any surprises? Look who just fucking popped in. Okay. Yeah, this German shirtless dude. He's like, it's funny. Yeah, I took away his. Let me catch up. There's a couple of people that passed. I want to get down to them. Hayden, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Are you done? But look who's done. Our Nordic friend.
Oh.
We're gonna miss you on here. We're gonna miss you, but you get the big one since you're done. Boom. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, let me roll down. Okay, it looks like Timu Mark Cuban. Absolutely. Okay, that's absolutely Melania. Absolutely, Timu Mark Cuban. Kind of like what do they say? Hakeem Jeffries is a Timu Obama. Okay. Okay. Or did they say that about? No, you know who did they say that about? What's his name? Cory Booker, maybe. I don't know. We're good. Okay, I'll do this real quick. Nervous. Wait, your test is on Thursday. We'll cover that Thursday. But remember, ADV is just a disclosure document. That's all it is. Form ADV is just a disclosure document. That's all it is. And you have to give it to your clients at or prior to signing the contract. Okay. Okay, Melania. Okay. So past perfect. Past perfect, okay, is what was I going to say? Oh, where did the fucking screen go? There it is. Okay. One of these days I'm going to shut it down, but good thing you're on here. So and I think you're taking it soon, if I remember right. I think you got to go back to just reading. Find another vendor. Here's the thing, Melania. Did you do my GPT and my brutal exam? If you do fine on those, you should be fine on the exam. Past perfect goes out of the way to be tricky. They really, really do. They go out of the way to be really tricky. Okay. Come by. Tell me when you're taking the test. I know that. I mean, in reality, you might need a tutor. Have you joined the study groups? I don't know when you're taking it, but 54% is tough. But past perfect. You have to go over the past perfect questions and see if they're like, are you getting them wrong because you're misunderstanding what they're asking, or you don't know the topic? It's got to be one of the two. Okay, here we go. So I asked that question. Remember, guys, I have one of those "Are you ready" videos for almost every test where I ask open-ended questions. I don't like give you answers. Just go, you should know this, you should know that. So this is one of the questions. On what's the FINRA fund analyzer, right? So basically that's comparing all the different mutual funds. So it lets you compare the costs, fees, and potential discounts. Okay. So it basically is all between ETNs. Is it ETNs? Let me look it up. Okay. ETNs, ETFs, mutual funds, closed-end funds. So you can have them all together and kind of make comparisons so you can make discussions. It talks about the fees, the discounts, all that stuff. That it's there to help investors find a fund. Okay. I love it. That's awesome. I am so happy for you, Hayden, my baby. That's awesome. Okay. Now, so Paula, got it. Okay. Sometimes the weird ones, I think they're not real people, but okay. So a couple curveballs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're ready, if you have overstudied, you should be fine on the 66. Okay. Here we go. So now, yeah, so I can't write it down here because that's not what I'm doing here. But let's think about this. So first of all, after we're done, Julia, go find my Mathapalooza video. The first 15 minutes is just doing convertible bonds over and over and over and over again until your eyes just explode. Okay. So now, oh, by the way, Jeff, I edited your video. I'll send it over. I'm waiting for it to download.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So,
exciting stuff.
What? I know it's
exciting stuff.
Yeah, I did. It's a shorter video, so it didn't have as much fun with it, but it's good. Okay. So now, Julia, so conversion is always about convertible bonds, right? So you're always trying to find out how many shares you get if you convert. So write this down. Anyone worried about convertible stuff, write this down. It's a 2-step process. Okay. So first of all, you take the par value, which is either 1,000 on a bond or 100 on a convertible, unless on a preferred. You divide that by the convertible price. So if they say, oh, it converts at blah, 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 you do par divided by the convertible price to get the ratio. The ratio is how many shares you get if you convert. Okay. That's what the ratio is. The ratio is how many shares you get if you convert. Okay. Now, if you take that and you multiply it times the common stock price. You multiply it times the common stock price, and that's going to give you that's going to give you the parity. I don't really care about the word parity. They don't really ask about parity, but so your choice is here. So remember, you're going to get, say the convertible price is 50. You're going to do 1,000 divided by 50. That gives you 20. That gives you 20 shares when you convert. If you take that 20, either multiply times the common stock to get the bond parity, or you take the bond price and divide it by that. I don't like doing that way because it's too confusing. I'd much rather multiply the ratio times the common stock price. That gives me how much it would be if I converted all my shares. If I converted my bond into shares, I would get this much. I could sell them for this much. If that's more than the bond price, it's worth converting. If it's less, it's not. So let's see if I can do this one. I don't know if I can do this. Let's see if I always forget how to share screen. Okay. Yeah, there it is. I like how it breaks it up. Okay. So I may have to change the screen up a little bit. Yeah, I got to change this up. Let me get us. Nope, that's even worse. No one can read that, right?
Nope.
Hold on. I can fix that. I think I can fix it. You still see it though, right?
Yes.
Tell me if that's any better.
A little bit. I feel like I'm doing an eye chart. Oh, keep going.
I can read that, right?
You squint and get real close. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so now I can do one other thing. No, that makes it worse. Because I'm trying to make the screen bigger or smaller. If I can't make it any bigger than that. So I'm going to read it to you. This is a convertible question. And this is on my either on my math, it's either on my brutal exam or my GPT. A company, I'm going to read it out. A company offers 10 million of 8% 20-year debentures, which are unsecured bonds. Each debenture is convertible to common at 50. A bondholder needs to liquidate 10 convertible debentures. Nobody cares about that. The market price of the bond is 102 and the market value of the common stock is 53. Which of the following actions should the bondholder take? So the first step, Julia, is to do 1,000 divided by the convertible price, which is 50. So 1,000 divided by 50 is 20. That means we get 20 shares of common if we convert. Okay? We get 20 shares of common if we convert. Now, oh God, Teddy. Now, so if we do 20 times 53, we get 1,060. That means if we were to convert, we would and sell the stock, we would get 1,060. Our other choice is to just sell the bond in the market. So if we were to sell the bond in the market, we get 102, which is 1,020. If we convert, get 1,060. I'd rather get 1,060 than 1,020. So the answer is C, convert the bond and sell the common stock in the market. However, if they see this as tender the bond to the company, well, that would only happen if they called the bond. And if they called the bond at a higher price, then you'd want to convert. So that's the answer. Hope that helps a little bit. And we're back. Okay. Hope that helped a little bit, Julia Boolia. Okay. Okay, now. Okay. I can do a little bit of margin. You should watch my videos if you haven't. Okay. It's not harder than that. That's the problem, is that the vendors make the margin way too hard. But let's talk about this, okay? So if we have a if how do we do this? How do we get equity, right? So equity is always market minus debit. So it's what it's worth minus what I owe. So debit balance is what I borrowed. Market value is what it's worth. So if I do market value minus debit. So let's say, Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Let's do this. Write down market value of 50 grand. And then I have a debit balance of 20. So that means, remember, everyone wants to do this with me. Write down market value of 50. Write down debit balance of 20. If I subtract them, because if I sell my stock, I have to pay back the debit balance. That leaves me an equity of 30. That means my equity is 30. That's my ownership. If I were to sell out my shares right now, I'd walk away with 30 grand and I'm happy. However, that's not what they're going to ask. They're going to ask what your SMA or excess equity is. So we have 30 grand in equity. We agree. Now, remember, it's how much equity you have over what they want us to have. So they want us to have 50% all the time of the market value, not of the equity, of the market value. So 50% of the market value of 50 grand is 25,000. So we have an equity of 30. We have a market value of 25 grand. 30 minus, so if I have 30 grand in equity and they want 25, that is 5 grand. Okay. So that is 5 grand of SMA, excess equity. That's what I can withdraw. And always remember that buying power is 2 times SMA. I have videos on this. They walk through every step. If you're struggling on the vendors with margin after you watch my videos, those questions are not on the test. I'm telling you, the vendors go fucking nuts with margin, especially Pest Perfect. Kaplan does a bad job too, but Pest Perfect will take you down a road that you do not need to go down. Okay. Hold on. That's a great question. If everyone wants to answer, boom. If anyone wants to talk about that, where are you working after that? Boom, the CFP, get that done. I think we have a tutor for that. We're working on it. And Danko is usually the best program if you're going to do that. And try to do it as soon as possible. So that's interesting. Your first and last question were the same. I had that where when I took it, I had like question 110. It was more than 66, but it was like question 101 was when does it expire? And then question 110 was when do agents expire? I was like, what the fuck? So sometimes that happens. I do remember when I took it one time in early 2007, when it was 250 questions, I got the same exact question 5 times. It was literally, here's a spread question. What's the max gain? I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. Okay, so I did the conversion. I did the margin a little bit. Watch the videos. They're going to help you the most. Okay, fundamental analysis. Okay, now, so let's talk about that on a brief level. Okay, fundamental analysis is when you rip apart the actual company as opposed to technical, where you're looking at trading and prices. Like the prices here, you're looking at patterns and trending patterns to see where you are. Okay, so what's going on? So fundamental is the no fun method. Okay, fun for no fun. You're ripping apart the balance sheet. Like you're looking at assets versus liabilities. You're looking at the net worth, which is total assets minus total liabilities. You're looking at working capital, which is current assets minus current liabilities. You're looking at current ratio, which is current assets divided by current liabilities. Okay. You're looking at all these things to come up with like where the company should be trading, what it's worth, stuff like that, where the fair value is. You're also looking at the income statement, the money going in and out. Like cash is an asset, but cash flow is on the income statement. You're looking, that's basically where you are. You're just looking at, you're not going to go too deep on it. You have to know what current assets are. That's anything you're going to get in a year, or like current assets are stuff like, like accounts receivable, which money you're going to get in a year, accrued paychecks, accrued rent, stuff like that. They're not going to make you break it down. But inventory, why the dog's going so nuts? Okay. Inventory is considered a current asset. Okay. So inventory is a current asset. And if they want to know the quick ratio, you're going to do assets minus the inventory, total current assets minus the inventory divided by current liabilities. That's what that is. So current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Quick asset ratio, or the acid test, is current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. Okay. Okay. I'm reviewing SIE materials, getting ready for the exam. Series 7. Okay. Boom. Alyssa, that's awesome. Just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. Just keep grinding. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh. Alexable. That's awesome. You're a bad bitch. Exactly. You nailed it. I love it. That's awesome. That is outstanding. That's awesome. It's great to get that done. That's awesome. It's a little different, Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Opportunity person. I like, help everyone out. Okay, now. Look, Devin, every different person has a different type of technical trading stuff. Like, there's all different types. Okay, so the point is, like, they're looking at trends and all that stuff. Everything is just a derivation of different type of technical trading. Like, I had a guy who couldn't look at it unless it used the they weren't the umbrella ones. It was like, do you know, Jeff? Do you remember there's a line? I forgot. I forgot what they're called. Like, they look at I think it's lines where they have the high low inside. Oh, it's candlestick. He could only do technical trading if he looked at candlestick stuff. I have other guys that don't look at this. Look, Devin, they all kind of work. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter because technical trading works because everyone follows it. That's the difference. So I don't go too heavy into it. Like, if you look at it, if you try to rip it apart and you're like, if you think it works, then it works. That's what it does. It's just a type of technical trading. And I don't get into like ripping apart different ones because I have a friend, the Einstein of Wall Street, Tuckman, they have their version. I got the Mark Green and all them. I got all this. Everyone has their own version of technical trading, and a lot of them kind of work. Okay. Oh, Melania, we're good. Okay, I just saw that. Okay. You're actually okay. With 10 days to go, if you're 68 on Kaplan and you basically passed an SDC exam and you go back and forth, you're good. And probably margin is the one if that's hurting you, don't worry about it. Margin is not going to be the reason you fail. On the vendors, margin pulls your score down. On the real exam, I think it pulls it up. So you're going to be fine. Hopefully, I'll see you on the weekends. Okay, good stuff. Okay. So Melania is getting 54s, and she's 2 months away. You're fine, especially past preference. So maybe go, Melania. Go. I know it's a little bit of money. Go to STC and buy their supplemental. I think it's like $70. I think I have a link where it gets it down to like 65 or maybe under that. But it's just try that out first, Melania. Try this STC ones. Try the supplemental. See if somebody has a link, whatever, that you can borrow for a day. I have a couple of videos on my practice exam walkthroughs where I do the STC. So maybe you could do that just because you can see that Past Perfect. I really think Past Perfect makes people feel like shit. I like the people the new PE firm that took them over, the guy, John, I was talking to, they're actually trying to stream it down and get it to be a little less like scary. Thing about Past Perfect, their non-math stuff is solid. That's the thing. But when you put a number in there, it's like they have a stroke or something. They just kind of go nuts and they try to make you feel bad. So don't worry about that too much. I think you're actually probably in much better shape than you think you are, especially with you have the whole 2 months to go. As long as you don't have like 3 major vacations to do and stuff like that. And my bigger thing is, remember, so don't put, let's say you're taking it in January, don't put November pressure on January, because the problem is that you're learning to walk and you're worried that you can't run yet. Like if you started playing a sport, you don't expect to be able to dunk or hit an overhead smash or whatever it is, or whatever it's behind the back dribble without in the first couple of weeks. You're still early on.
I think if you have 2 months to go, take your time.
Yeah.
And when I say take your time, I don't mean take time off. I'm saying, when you read the book, really try to understand it because you have the time. When you're reviewing a practice exam, read the explanations because you have the time now. You don't need to cram, which is a good thing.
Right. That's the best thing. You can do this right. Like you can actually go and re-review stuff that you're struggling with. Right?
Yeah. You have a lot of options to study to make yourself feel comfortable with the material. You don't need to rush.
Right. Good. Okay. Good. And you're on there. Okay. So now, that's awesome. So you in on this? I don't remember. Are you in on the Sunday night things? If you are, I hope you are. Okay. And the Facebook group you joined, obviously you're finding me there. And then, and if you join the options group, that's going to be great. I do like the fact that a lot of people in these groups, they start their own study groups on their own. They're meeting like 3-4 times a week on their own, and I feel that really does help. I think the study groups are super helpful. They really are. Okay. Okay. Cheaper than achievable? Nothing's cheaper than achievable. I mean, you can watch my videos and do my free questions and maybe do it like FINRA has one. And I mean, if you have a finance background, then you could probably do my videos, do the free videos. Notman has a free practice exam. I think Quizlet may have stuff like that. Other than that, there's not much cheaper than achievable. But then you say, listen, hold on. And what is that? Okay.
But you would put up the question before and nobody could read it.
Oh, got it. Okay. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I read it to everyone. Okay. It's good memory. Okay. So if you look, I'm saying buy something. If you want to watch my videos and buy the Kaplan question bank, you can do that. You go to Michael Weiss on his subreddit, or Series 7 exam. He has a discount link. You can go and you can get, whatever off. I have no fucking idea what it is. Go from there. Steven. Okay. Just tomorrow, don't do any tests. Don't do any tests unless you're planning on it. If you're really stuck on doing them, focus on your weak shit and just take your time, get some sleep and go for it. You're going to nail it. Go through my crash course, my 65, 66 crash course. Make sure you watch the brutal exam and go beat this thing. You're going to be fine. Get sleep. Okay. Razor. Okay. It's funny. It's like I see I'm way behind, but then it's not that many questions after. Okay. SIE getting everyone. You have questions, throw them in there because I'm almost about to catch up. Okay. 65 to 75 on pre-test with just 2 books and your videos. Remember? Razor. I mean, it depends. If you have time, you have books. You don't have any questions. I mean, what pre-tests? Okay. It depends. If you have a bunch of exams from STC or Kaplan or Achievable, then you're good. Then you have enough. But if you're just doing like Quizlet tests or making up things on GPT or just doing my video tests, might not be enough. You might need to grab some more. So I would say at worst, buy the Kaplan Q Bank if you don't have it already. Or I get Achievable. They will help you a ton.
What does 2 books mean?
I think he just has 2 books. Like he has like maybe an SEC book and a Kaplan book. Like he may not have some people end up getting books like given to them as gifts. Like, oh yeah, I just took it, here it is. But they don't have access to the questions. Yeah.
Not doing a book online, just saying, should they do an online course? So yeah. I think that the memberships.
Yeah.
Sort of that. Yeah.
If you do the memberships, they'll definitely help. That'll help. But you still need questions. If you have questions, we're good. See if he answers that. But if you have question bank, you're fine. If you need an online course, and if you're already paid with STC and it's there, they're worth doing. If you have Kaplan want to do their class, make sure you get Mark Esposito. Go from there. Okay. Okay. Kristen. Okay. Okay. So if you want to do the tomorrow one, you got to join the premiere. If you want to be in on the Wednesday night, you join the premiere level, which is, I think it's $99 a month. A month. Okay. So it's funny. Whenever I say that, I go, oh my God, that's so much money. And they go, wait a second. It's not that much fucking money. It's like $8 a class. Right. Right. Okay. Less than $10. It's like a Starbucks with
I
extra.
was gonna say, why is Starbucks the new benchmark for pricing?
Because it's so fucking expensive.
Wasn't there the Big Mac indicator that used to be?
Yeah, they used to be, right? And then that's
Yeah.
like, I think it's like $9 now for a Big Mac. Oh, but then they dropped it. I think it was for a while. It was like you couldn't get. Remember, it used to be McDonald's and Burger King used to be. Oh, you can feed your family for like $20.
You cannot feed a family unless your family's like,
Well, no, that's the thing. Now they have the dollar menus. You technically could, but it's like, you get the last week's nuggets.
your family's going to be complaining after a couple hours.
I know. But it's funny. You remember that Super Size Me thing?
Yeah.
It was. I didn't realize it was such a scam. None of that shit was bad. He already had that sickness or whatever.
Well, do you ever see the Starbucks cups, the small, medium, and large, and they pour one into another, and it fills?
Yeah, they're almost the same, right? I know.
Is that really true?
I think it's not.
I've never done it. I always say I'm going to, but
I think somebody said it's not actually because it's. But my favorite is there's a guy. You remember the guy from work? You ever see the movie Office Space?
Of course.
So that guy, the main guy.
Yeah.
He goes into Starbucks and he goes, he goes in there and he talks about the girl with that gravelly, that voice, like, oh, I don't know what you mean. But then he goes into what he said, Vente, all of them mean 20. Oh, wait, they all mean large. He said, the only one that doesn't mean large it's like grandes. And he said, the only one that doesn't mean large is Vente, which means 20. So it's just like funny. Like, he's like, they all mean large. They mean the same thing in their language. So it's funny. Okay. So Christian, back to this. Yeah, just join the membership. See, we go on a fucking tangent. There's ADDville. I should change this to the ADD hour. So yeah, if you join the membership, just join the premier one. Though it's not. Now remember something. Do it on a laptop or desktop because if you do it on your phone, it's going to be $65. I mean, it's going to be more. It's going to be $130 because Apple adds 30% to it. So don't do that. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, the brutal exam is fun. I had a lot of fun with that. And then I did the GPT one too. So we're there. Okay. Can I explain arbitrage? Okay. Hold on. Javier, I don't have extra ones to purchase. I have some on online where you can do them with me. But if you want to buy questions, either by Kaplan, you can buy the STC supplemental exams. Those are good. And it depends what test you're taking. I owe almost every test. I think the 66, I don't have one for the SIE. Well, I do. I have one for the 7 and I have one for the 66 that give you the same vibe as the real question. Okay. Now, arbitrage. Okay. Arbitrage is when I'm going to go in examples, but it's when you buy one thing at one price on one market or somewhere, and then you sell short the other thing at the same time to capture the difference, which sounds crazy. So let's start with this one. When I first started on the stock exchange, there was the Midwest Exchange, the P-Coast, which is the Pacific, San Francisco, and Boston. So we had other exchanges where shit traded. There was like 9 people on the exchange, those. But sometimes their prices would be different than ours. So it'd be like, okay, we looked on our floor and we saw IBM was trading at like $42. And then you looked on the Pacific Stock Exchange, you saw it's trading at $42.15. Like, oh, there's a gap there. So we would buy. Now, first you think, oh, I'll just buy it in the New York and then send it over to California and sell it there. But by the time you bought it in New York, it could drop and you can't make money. So what we do is we'd buy it in New York at 42. And then at the exact same time, short the stock at 48.15. Like we'd have the guys on the phone with each other. And as soon as it's a bid there, good, sell it and buy it at the same time, we capture the difference. We would buy the stock at 42. And at the exact same time, short the stock at 42.15. And then then it would collapse on itself and we make 15 cents. That's one version of arbitrage. Okay. Another, that's regular, just straight up arbitrage. Almost like when the iPhones first came out a long time ago, they would sell for $1,000 here and $1,500 in China. So listen, we could have Jeff go to China, be on the phone with me and have a crowd of people, right? and I could sit there and buy a phone, buy the iPhone 17 for $999 at Apple. And as soon as I buy it, he's selling it to someone in China. And then I just ship it and we make the difference. So maybe he sells it for $1,500 in China. He goes, you want one? Sure. He goes, give me the money, and I buy it. And boom, we capture the difference with no risk because we have a buyer and a seller. What's your question?
I was going to say, I think buying a phone today is worse than buying a car.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I'm not arbitraging phones. I'd rather arbitrage something else, maybe fruit.
But that one works because I know that in China they pay up for it. Okay. So now the other one is convertible arbitrage, where if it's worth converting, I'm not going to go through the math, but like that other one, if in reality, that other question I put up there, when the bond was trading at 1,020 and I can convert and sell the shares at 1,060, I can make the difference. I could buy the bond, convert them, and then sell the shares and make $40. The risk is that the stock will drop, before I get to sell the stock. So I will buy the bond and at the exact same time short the shares. And then when I convert the bond into shares, it'll pay off my short. That's arbitrage. I used to do merger arbitrage. When I first started, I was at a hedge fund. We just did merger arbitrage, where you're buying one company, shorting the other, and hoping it works. But it was called risk arbitrage because it wasn't a clean, guaranteed win. Okay. Again, I don't really have. I hope that helps a little bit, Kara. Kara, my baby. Okay, now I don't have any exam, but again, if you go to Kaplan or STC, you can buy supplemental. I have some practice walkthroughs you can do. Okay. JP Morgan, got it. Okay. Paula, I love it. Get through that, baby. You're going to get through them. Watch the margin ones again. Okay. Okay. Oh, Stella. Boom, I love it. Hold on. We're going to miss Anders. We're going to miss Stella, all that stuff. Hold on. Here we go. Here's Zoran Mandami.
Viele Hände hat der Oktopus? 100.000 Hände. Wie viele Hände hat der Leguan? 100.000.
Okay. Here we go. Stella, that's awesome. Okay, here we go. Now back. Okay, Kim Forenza, stay on there. Okay. Currently passing Kaplan. Okay. You're taking the SIE, obviously. If you're getting 70s or higher on Kaplan, because remember the FINRA one, it's the same test over and over again. So you might be. I mean, it's not good that you're not passing it if you're taking it more than once. Okay, but if you once, how about this? Book it for once you pass 3 in a row on Kaplan. Book it for a week later. That's what you do. So once you pass 3 in a row, get like 72 or higher. I know you need a 70. If you get a 72 or higher 3 times in a row, go book the test for a week later. That's what you're going to do, Alyssa. That's the best way. Okay. Oh, Shane Bain. Hold on a second. Okay. 6. Okay. Okay, so here's a problem. I saw somebody gave advice the other day. Oh, it was on Reddit, which again, stay off. The person goes, oh, I failed. I did bad in one section. They said, and one of the people who run the subreddit goes, oh, just focus on the weak spots. And I'm like, because if you do that for 30 days, you're going to drop. The other ones are going to drop. So I would say, don't worry about you took it in July. You're a different person now. You're not the same person. You've studied, you've read, you're not the same person. I would say, thank you. I know watching my videos. I appreciate it. I would say if you're taking it on the 6th, that gives you what, 3 weeks? If you haven't reread the book again, reread it. Now, Kaplan is hard. Okay, you bought the Kaplan Q Bank and Achievable. Okay, so if you're going through Achievable, just keep focusing on learning there and then going back and forth between Kaplan Q Bank and Achievable questions, and then you're gonna nail it. You'll get there. Okay, if you can get yourself to if you can get in mid 70s on Kaplan and then the 80s on Achievable, you're ready to pass this. You will know enough to pass. Okay. So Kim, find my crash course, and Shane, stay on there. Find my crash course. At least watch the 6. I think I have a quick and dirty for the 6. Just make sure that you're solid with mutual funds, annuities, and customer accounts. I would say your best bet right now is read customer accounts since it's nighttime and you're taking it tomorrow. I would read customer accounts just to get the low-hanging fruit. That's your best bet. Shane, that's awesome. Boom, I love it. How can I possibly be the man if you're the man? Okay. Here we go. Laney Bain, that's awesome. Any surprises? That's all I always ask. I don't care what's on it because I know. I just want to know any surprises. Okay, so you have the Notman book and the SIE for Dummies. Go buy the Kaplan Q Bank. Just go buy the Kaplan Q Bank. I know it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but go buy it. It's going to be worth it doing. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, you have so much time. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Don't worry about a chapter a day. I mean, you can, but if you have a year to get both done, you can literally fail them 4 times and still pass and still have your job. Okay. Yeah. Get through the book. Boom. You know what? You know what? I'm okay with that. I think that's a good plan. I was going to criticize it, but it's good. Okay. 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 I think that's good. Yeah. Borgman, 100%. And focus on the SIE. The other thing is one master at a time, right? Only focus on the SIE. Do not even think about the 7 until you're done with the SIE. Just focus. Don't try to double study since you have so much time. Get the SIE in the first shot. Let's get this done. Give yourself 3 to 4 weeks, maybe a month to do it, maybe a little bit more, whatever it is. But you don't want to go more than like 6 weeks because then you start burning out and it's bad. So if you do a chapter or so a day, that's 20 days. Go back and do the chapter quizzes. Then yeah, you could probably take this within 4 or 5 weeks and without a rush, super relaxed, watching my videos. And then you have all this time to study the 57. Also, it looks like you're an STC ready, but remember for the 57, STC is by far the best. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I still would buy the Kaplan Q Bank Razor. I think it would help you. I think you'd boom. Okay. No. If you want to look, if you're doing a chapter a day, that's going to take you 20 days. That's about right. Then you go back and do quizzes. You'll be fine. Don't change it up. You're in a good shape. Okay, Pixie, I'll get there. Okay. Not margin. I can't even say excite. Okay, excite. Okay, I'm going to say excite. Okay. Maybe that excite. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is it. Excite. Okay. Now, so the main 3 topics, I don't like doing it, but if you've been studying along, it's options, munis, it's options, munis, suitability. It's really all debt, but munis are kind of heavy. Options, munis, and don't sleep on mutual funds and annuities. I promise you, like you may not get a lot of them of one, but you're going to get questions on it. You don't want to give them up. So let's say not 3. Let's say mutual funds and annuities I'll do as 1. Customer accounts, options, and say debt with a little heavy lifting on munis. How about that? Okay. Yeah, Borgman, it's tough. I know. I have so many people. It's like I have a lot of people right out of school go, I haven't studied this hard for exam in my life, stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you're like 23, you're in study mode maybe, and it's good. But yeah, but you're good. You're doing fine. Don't overthink it. You're fine. Just do what you feel comfortable with. If you end up but my thing about a chapter a day, which I'm okay with, you don't want to force it. So I would just say average how long it takes to do a chapter and then just do it read for like 2 hours every day or 3 hours every day. And then you just move on. If you get through 1 chapter or 3 chapters or half a chapter, it's totally fine. Okay. The SIE book, there's 2 of them. Okay. So I love Achievable. Okay. I love Achievable for the SIE by far, but they don't have a hardcover book, and some people don't like them. So I would say if you want a hardcover book, get STC. I have links in most of my videos. If you go to the description, so STC is good. Achievable is great. Okay. STC Achievable. If you want a hardcover book or you want questions that look more like the exam, STC is better. But Achievable teaches this stuff better than anything else. But now my playlist, my SIE playlist, I don't use the STC book. I use their timeline. So my videos are in the same order as the STC book, but they have nothing to do with the book pretty much. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. Now, okay. Here's the problem. So, Melissa, yes, but oh no, actually, I do. It's if the problem is you'll have to be a member. Okay. So the straddle one is free. I put it out there like what 3 weeks ago, maybe a week or two ago, and I think it's great. It's just me doing straddle questions. Like that was torn whether I was going to make a membership out of it, but I said, "Ah, screw it. I'll help people out." If you want the spread stuff, you might have to go into the membership. Now, again, it's $20 a month. It's an investment. If you're already a member, then it's in there. But if you go to the amazing options video playlist or join the membership, and it looks like Kimberly joined them, I love it. Okay, options videos only. That's awesome. You will, Kimberly, you will love those option videos. Melissa, if you want to do that, go on. I'm glad it clicked. I'm glad. Just sometimes it's doing problems over and over and over again. Click. So I had a girl today who she was okay. She's taking the test a week or two, and she's okay with spreads, but she's like, I'm not so sure. So she's a member, so she's doing them. She's going to do the. I have a video called Options Armageddon, which is literally an hour and a half of just hedging and spread questions. Nothing else, just hedging and spread. Cover calls, protective puts, break evens, all the spread stuff, however it's going to be asked. And then I have another video called Options Suitability Exam, where it's all options, no math. And the back end is all spreads with no premiums, which will help. But again, if you don't understand spreads, it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, Melissa, it might be easier to join the membership. Okay. 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 Don't sweat the economic analysis too much. I mean, I assume you're taking the 7. Okay. Okay. I would. Oh, Kara, I'm glad that helped. Good. Okay. Sometimes the arbitrage doesn't click with people. Okay. Options. No, Alejandro, you have a choice. Either you can watch my video, you can either keep practicing and do the teacher, or grab the playlist. Just it's a membership. It's $20. It may help. Economic analysis, don't sweat too much. That options will be on the exam. Now, this is what happens. Sometimes most people get a lot of option questions, 12 to 30. Some people get 10. It's just luck of the draw, right? So who knows where it's going to be. But I would say you can, if you're getting 60s and options is your worst, you'll do better on the real exam on options, but you got to kind of practice them a little bit. But I do think economic analysis is on the test, but not heavy. That if you're taking the 7, you're much better off focus on the options, the debt, the mutual funds and annuities, and accounts. And suitability for everything. Okay. Okay. Boom. I'm glad to help. I'm happy to help you guys. Okay. Ooh, good. Okay, here we go. What's the best birthday postman? Jeff, look at this.
Oh,
Great question, right?
Goes into the big question.
Right. So we're going to start on this, but there's a follow-up to this, okay? Here's the thing. Here's my take, and I don't know if it's right or not, but if you go to, you always want a salary. So if you go to Schwab, they're not going to expect you to bring in clients at first, right? They just want you to make sure you don't lose the ones I have. Fidelity, Schwab, they don't want you to bring. Maybe Schwab eventually wants you to bring in clients, but it's a lot of it's just walk-ins, make sure they leave happy, right? You might be on the phone for the first month or two, maybe 6 months. You're gonna be on the phones doing stuff like that. The smaller firms are fine, and you learn a lot, but sometimes they're eat what you kill, and you gotta. And who's gonna? I mean, it's gonna be hard to get money. It's not. I mean, you can get money, but it's not easy. It's hard to get money from people. Okay. That's why if you break your bones and you learn the business at a place that doesn't want you to bring in business, but let's say you go to like a Schwab, they don't really care about your business. Fidelity doesn't care about your business too much unless you get to a certain level. Fidelity never, but Schwab maybe a certain level. Edward Jones, great company, but got to eat what you kill after. Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Goldman, all of them salary, but they want some targets. But I think they found out over the last 15 years that not just having you pass the test, training you, and letting you fend for yourself has a 5% pass rate. So they started doing more teams where they put you under a team. You're like the CSA, you're a grunt, you're handling all their shitty clients. Not that there's any shitty clients, but whatever. So, like if you have a guy who's running a book with a couple $1 billion, there's definitely clients on there that he doesn't want to handle. He wants the big kahunas, right? So he wants the big stuff. So he'll pass them off to you, and you can learn the business. And then a lot of times they'll use their book to meet your quota. So I know it didn't help you that much, but I'm trying to give you information. I think going to the small places is tough unless they're going to pay a salary, unless they're going to help you, unless they want you to just handle the clients they have. The best case scenario is to be at a place where they pay you a salary. They want you to do the work for you. They don't have a quota for you, but they allow you to bring clients in. If you can find a place like that where you can bring your own clients in and get paid, but you don't need it to keep your job, that's the best course to go. Okay.
I think you're better off getting a part-time job to make your money, not having a salary at all, so you're not under the gun with
yeah, but a lot of them won't let you have a job outside of it, right?
I know. It's just it's a
Primerica will.
It's a hard trade-off because
right.
it's if you can get on a team and say I'm going to stay on this team for 5 years,
right,
to get the experience.
Yeah,
that's really the way.
Yeah,
and then if you want to maybe branch out, that's another strategy.
Right, I agree.
Okay. But you need the experience because nobody's going to buy without.
Yeah, nobody's going to give you money.
You're going to see right through it instantly.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle. Yeah, it's a song. Aren't you done yet? He's funny. He needs to bust my chops forever. Okay. Chase, baby. Get some sleep. Read customer accounts. Get some sleep. Watch my Power Hour video and get this fucker done, Chase. We're going to get it done. Okay. So tendering bonds is that if they call the bonds, you're selling them to the company. So tendering the bonds is once you tender them, they're gone. They're not yours anymore. You're selling them. You don't get to evaluate anything after this. So understand, if I have a choice, if I can convert the bonds, sell the bonds, or tender them, whichever gives me the most money, I'm going to do. If converting gives me more money, I convert. If tendering is higher than the call price, if the call price is higher than where it's trading or the parity, I'm going to let it be called, which means tendering to the option. So like a tender is an offer to buy. You tendering your shares, you giving into the tender is tendering your shares to the tender offer. So it's not why you're evaluating, it's instead of. So you're going to look at, should I convert, should I sell, or should I tender? And in real world, understand something. If the bond is trading at 104 and they call the bonds at 104, the bond is immediately going in price to 104. So it's not like they're going to call and go, oh, it's trading at 102. Nobody's selling their bonds at 102 when there's a call out there for 104. So in real world, it's basically the call price and selling it are the same. And sometimes just selling in the market's better because you get it quicker. Okay. 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 Interesting. Okay. We were just talking about this ESG stuff, right? I don't know if that's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, look, if you think renewable energy is going to do well, and maybe it will, but I still think it's early. I mean, great to get early in it, but I think it's early on. Like, I still think it's not viable yet. If you have to give subsidies to an industry to make people buy this shit, it's probably not viable. But to come in at start at the bottom, get the SIE. So you're doing this. So we have Ross and Boss, baby. Okay. If you are in one industry and if you're making money in it, understand you have to go somewhere where they're going to pay you a salary. So you'd have to go to a Fidelity no, which weird. Fidelity doesn't pay a lot, but people don't leave and they promote from within a lot. So you may not start off high, maybe in the 40s or 50s. I don't know, but you'll move up quick. You're never going to be a billionaire off of Fidelity, but people don't leave. They stay. Once you move up, you start making real money.
Can you put it back up again?
What?
Can you put that question back up again?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take a little bit different of an angle.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're looking to not be a financial advisor or wealth manager, but you're looking to become an analyst, and you want to do it in the ESG sector, there's a lot of focus on that right now in the market. Huge. So if you want to be a financial advisor, that's one thing. If you want to be an analyst of a ESG portfolio of renewable energy, commodities, rare minerals, it's a different story. It depends what direction you want to go.
Yep. But I am not a fan of switching careers for no salary, unless you have a shitload of money saved up.
Well, that's what I'm saying, analyst.
Yeah. You can go in there. I mean, it depends on, yeah, I mean, they can go that route. Like right now, I think I bet you all the summer analysts are probably the jobs. They probably interviewed in August and stuff like that.
But this is somebody with experience.
I don't know. He can maybe come in as an associate. I don't know.
Or
Or
think about the people that
cycle.
we've seen that have those specialized backgrounds, like in medical, or
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
you
true.
know, they know the market.
Yeah. True.
I don't think he's got to. I think he's got to actually. That's a great angle for somebody who's looking to break in, not as so much as a wealth advisor, but
Right.
more of a expert in the
More
sector.
on the technical side, right? More on the
Yeah.
institutional side,
Yeah.
right? So maybe not go. Yeah, maybe going into, like he said, maybe going on the more institutional side, not the trying to grab money from rich people side.
Unless this is a stretch, you go in as an advisor for like pensions or things like that, where there has to be, an ESG. There's an ESG component to their
Right.
investment criteria.
Right. Yep. But don't pigeonhole yourself to the ESG.
No.
Go in and like you could. It's sometimes it's easier if you go in there and then kind of create a niche for it. Like if it's not done, or like it's easier to get a job when you have one. So if you go into a place, get any kind of job, learn the business. Then after 2-3 years, if you're still there and you haven't given it up and gone, I sold my soul for this shit. You can probably start like finding out who does that stuff and jump in with them. Oh, we're getting near the bottom. Okay, here we go. Look at this, almost perfect timing. Okay, Brian. But I'm not much else. I mean, where are you getting hurt? Is it the math or is it the suitability? If it's the math, you can either do the T-charts that all the vendors use or use my way, which is easy as hell. But if it's a suitability part, I have a suitability video where I do the questions. But look, like if you have to think of them as that they're more of like a contract between two people. And like if I wanted to buy stock, I want to lock in a price, I'm going to buy a 50 call. I'm not going to go deep on this, okay? Because I have videos that do this. But if I like a stock, like say I like NVIDIA, let's say I like, not going to go with wildlife, but if you go with NVIDIA at 193, okay, and you go, oh, I think it's going to go up, but I'm not sure. Maybe you buy a 193 call instead of actually buying the stock. You buy a 193 call, so you lock the price in. So if it goes up, you exercise. If it goes down, you only lose the premium. Because remember, a option is literally just a piece of paper that lets you buy or sell the stock. Okay, and that's really all it is, and it expires. But here's where people get screwed up a lot: the hedging. So guys, anyone taking the 7, please write this down. This makes hedging so easy. And I just did a quick little hedging video. Okay. Yeah, Ashley, I don't disagree. I think that could be it, that the vendors make it confusing. So let me get into this. So everyone write this down. I don't want to get distracted from this. If I am long stock, I am bullish. So whenever you have two things, you have to have a bull and a bear. So if you're long stock, you have to do bearish options. So if you protect, you buy a put. So I write long stock, then underneath it, I write buy a put, and above it, I write sell a call. Those are the only choices. You have no other choices on this test. Yeah, real technicians, yeah. But if I'm long stock, I'm going to buy a put for HIP, hedge, insurance, protection, HIP, buyers for HIP. Or if I want income, I'm going to sell a call. That should solve a lot of problems. The other side is if you're short stock, you're bearish, you have to do bullish options. If you're short stock, you're going to buy a call for protection or sell a put for income. That's it. Okay. If you want to learn the suitability a little bit, find my quiz. I do a option suitability test. I put it out like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. It's pretty good. It's like 50 questions on just suitability, no math. If you're struggling with the math and the T-charts don't work, yeah, pay the $20 a month. Just buy and just go to the amazing options membership playlist, and it's going to kill you. Okay, it's going to kick your ass. And you're going to
real quick. I'm putting the membership link back in here because people are hitting me up for
that's fine.
Premiere and other one.
Okay. Eric. Okay. Boom. That's outstanding. I love it. That is outstanding.
Yeah! Who passed? I passed! Series 7 in the bag, baby! Let's go! Confetti for days! Top of the world! Woo!
Boom, baby. Okay. I love it. Any surprise? That's why I asked any surprise. I might not be on here long enough for you to answer, but yeah, okay. Hold on. Yeah, so this is the thing. So when the questions are definitely definitely very wordy. I agree. I think if you can just take your time and this is what I tell people to do. When you see a long option question, just write down the options. The other thing is read the question, read the answers, because sometimes it's not a fucking math question. Sometimes you think it's a math question and it's not. But I am a fan of writing once you see options, write them down. And if you see two, stack them. I always stack all my options on top of each other, even if it's 3 of them, because it's easier to look at them. Like if you write it all over the place, it's hard to get. Just stack them on top of each other. Sometimes you go, oh my God, it's a straddle. Or oh my God, it's a spread. Or oh my God, it's a nothing. So sometimes that happens. I'm a big fan of writing it down to cut out some of the noise. Yeah, the test absolutely is up to T+1. You're not going to get a lot of them. Just so regular rate, Megan. So regular rate settlement is T+1. So it makes it easy. Everything's T+1. If you choose to do cash settlement that same day, if you choose to do seller's option, it's 2 to 35 days. But no security trades that way. You just have to choose that. Okay. Now that also means the declaration date's a little different. Right? So the declaration date for options is we always say DERP, DERP, but now it's not E and R back next to each other. It's the same day. X date and record date are the same day now. Other than that, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Accrued interest, not that big a deal. So now we know if you buy a bond on a Monday, it settles on Tuesday, you count accrued interest till Monday instead of the next day. So pretty much, unless you buy the bond on a Friday, when you do accrued interest, just count to the trade date. It makes it easier. You don't have to decide whether to treasury or muni. Makes life easier. Okay. So don't worry about it too much. You're not going to be heavy other than for accrued interest and settlement of settlement maybe, and mostly for like dividends, X date and stuff like that. Okay. Not too shabby. I caught up. I was afraid we would run out of questions. Okay.
Huh.
It's weird. Usually I don't feel that way on Tuesdays, but we had a lot. We had a good size. Okay. We had a banger of an episode. Okay. A banger. That's good. Oh, wait, who's coming in here? Hold on.
Friends, fellow Americans, and all who ride with me, if these words move your spirit, let it be known. Press the like for liberty. Subscribe to the cause. Together.
Sorry, Abe. Okay. Okay, I think we did some damage here. Oh, where is my chat? Okay. Hold on. Oh, here we go. We got Ashley. Oh, for okay.
No.
Oh God, no. No, they're not. There's a couple changes coming through, but they're not. They're so minor. The T+1 is the only one that gets. There's not going to be any changes. If you're taking a January, even then, even if there's like a new number for 401ks and stuff, they won't have it in there. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna rock this thing. Don't worry about this. Okay. And you have till January. Well, here's the thing. Did you see the flurries today?
Yes.
So I taught a group today, and they're in Rochester. There was snow all behind them.
It was snowing pretty heavy for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
It was heavy flurries.
They had snow. They had accumulation. Mine was just flurries when I was moving a truck. So it's crazy. Kyle, happy Veterans Day. Absolutely. I had a video that was above it wouldn't load. I was going to put up the final scene from Stripes. Boom, chugga. You know, when it comes on, that's the fact, Jack. But I wouldn't upload. It was too long. Okay. Yeah, again, Ashley, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna rock this. Okay. Everyone, I think we made some damage. We got some good. If you like what I'm doing, share it. Don't forget, we do the membership. We meet at Wednesday nights for the premiere, and then we also meet on Sunday nights and stuff like that. And if you're taking the NASA exams like D-Man, but he's probably gone already, see you guys Thursday night. Okay, everyone, you all have a good night. I will see you guys in 7 days.